We each have a Hebrew story here. Each one of us has our own story to tell. Because now, when you pray like that and he shows up, you've got your story, you've got your history. And God doesn't need any more ministers. You know what he needs? You know what God's looking for? Jesus said this. He says it in Isaiah, and Jesus says it, as he's leaving. He says, you are my, begins with a W. What do witnesses do? In a courtroom, what does a witness do after he gets sworn in, takes the box, and he's up there? He testifies. And what does he describe in the testimony? What he saw, what he heard, what he experienced. Why? Because the jury has to hear it. Because they have to make a decision as jurors. Being a witness is what's important in God's kingdom, not being ministers. I'm not knocking ministry. We need ministers. But we don't need any more ministers. We need witnesses with their own story in a Hebrew sense. What's your blood and gut? What does it say? Bones and bowels. And all the stuff that goes with it. Trust, fear, anger, anticipation. And then he comes through. But you're the one that struggled with it. You were in the fight. And you're the one that told the enemy, shut up. He is going to show up. He always has. He always will. Because that's who he is. And you make that declaration in Satan's face. And you say, here he is. He's a God. And you know what? It's not so much of the Greek description of, this quality or that quality. But you go back in your history, and that's why you build monuments just like the Jews did. When he shows up, you build a monument. When they crossed the Jordan, what was Joshua told? You go out and you get a whole bunch of stones right now and you build this up because I want them to remember